All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. And today we're going to be tackling something, uh,
Spectacular.
yeah, spectacular is a good word for it. We're tackling the Northern Lights.
The Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, the Aurora Borealis. And specifically, I mean, not specifically, but we're also going to be talking about their connection with the Arctic Circle.
Right, because that was kind of the nugget that we got from the listener.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like a little clue or a little jumping off point.
The breadcrumb.
Yeah, like a breadcrumb.
Mhm.
Hey, go explore this. And so we're gonna, use this breadcrumb to kind of follow this trail and see where it leads us.
Yeah, what's so interesting is that the listener specifically linked those two, the Northern Lights and the Arctic Circle.
Right.
So it suggests an intuition that these brilliant displays, they're not just randomly scattered across the globe.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And you know that phrase, like just those two, like Northern Lights, Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
It's like a clip. Like they're saying, hey, there's a connection here. So,
Something going on here.
so let's kind of dig into that. But before we go any further, maybe for the benefit of the listener, maybe we should just touch on like what actually causes the Northern Lights.
Oh, absolutely.
For people who,
So imagine this. The sun, this giant ball of energy, is constantly throwing out particles,
right.
some of which are electrically charged.
Okay.
So when these charged particles reach the Earth, they're pulled towards our planet's magnetic poles. As they kind of slam into our atmosphere, they excite those gas molecules, causing them to release energy as light.
Oh, okay.
And boom,
Yeah.
you get these vibrant dancing curtains of light we call the Aurora Borealis.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm thinking like a giant neon sign, but on a
Yes.
on a planetary level.
It's like nature's grand light show.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so that explains the lights, but why are we always hearing about them in connection with the Arctic Circle? Like, why there?
It all comes down to the Earth's magnetic field.
Okay.
Those magnetic poles, they act like giant magnets, drawing those charged particles towards them.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the polar regions, including the Arctic Circle, they become the main stage for these spectacular displays.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
If the Northern Lights are happening because of the magnetic North Pole,
Mhm.
and we know there's a South Pole too,
Right.
does that mean?
Yeah, I got it. There's a southern counterpart to the Northern Lights
Okay.
called the Aurora Australis,
What?
both poles.
Oh, wow.
They have this mesmerizing dance of light, all driven by those same fundamental forces.
So there are basically there are two light shows
Yeah.
happening simultaneously. Like
At the same time?
that's insane. Are they
On opposite ends of the Earth.
are they equally visible in both locations? Like is one, more spectacular or
This is
is
where it gets even more fascinating. While both poles experience auroras, a few things affect visibility.
like what?
Think about light pollution.
Right.
The Arctic Circle, for example, has vast, sparsely populated areas, meaning less light interference.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then you have weather patterns. Clear, dark skies are ideal for aurora viewing,
Right.
and the Arctic often has those conditions.
Hmm.
And finally, solar activity.
Okay.
Sometimes the sun throws out a larger burst of particles, like during what's called a coronal mass ejection,
Wow.
that can create truly spectacular, more intense auroras.
Yeah. So it's not a consistent like every night kind of thing.
Well, it's consistent in that it happens all the time,
Okay.
but the intensity varies,
Right.
Because the sun is not always spitting out the same amount of particles.
Makes sense.
Right, yeah.
So we've basically gone from this simple phrase, Northern Lights, Arctic Circle.
Sweet little breadcrumb.
Yeah, this little breadcrumb to understanding, the science behind them, the connection to the Earth's magnetism,
Right.
and even the things that make them more visible in certain areas.
It is like uncovering a hidden treasure.
It is. It's like opening up this whole, this whole secret world, and yeah, so cool.
And if we think about those southern lights existing because of the magnetic South Pole, it kind of begs the question,
Yeah.
is there a sort of Arctic Circle in the southern hemisphere as well? It's something to ponder, right?
It is. It is something to ponder. Wow. Well, on that note, I think we're going to have to leave it there.
I think so too.
But yeah, I think this was a great deep dive.
Absolutely.
And as always, if you have any breadcrumbs that you'd like for us to follow, please send them our way.
We'd love to explore with you.
And until next time, happy exploring.
See you later.